In the 2012 U.S. election this November, voters in Colorado and Washington state became the first to legalize the use and sale of recreational marijuana. Here in Colorado, Jewish marijuana advocate Mason Tvert was instrumental in the campaign to persuade 55% of Colorado voters to approve the referendum.
This is perhaps the most significant development when it comes to marijuana and drug policy in our entire nation and in some ways around the world. The United States really leads the way when it comes to marijuana policy, and this has sent a very resounding message that we are on our way toward changing how we treat marijuana in this country, and other countries are listening.
Before the legalization vote, Colorado was already allowing the development of a medical marijuana industry, complete with sophisticated grow operations and dispensaries on many street corners. Federal law still prohibits marijuana use in every state of the union, but the FBI and Justice Department have been reluctant to take action as federal officials generally avoid trampling over states' rights.
Colorado is the only state currently that has a fully functioning state and locally regulated system of marijuana sales and production for medical purposes. So we have hundreds of businesses across the state that are openly producing and selling marijuana to qualified patients. And so, because it's regulated, because it's controlled, we've seen more respect from the federal government. And that's our hope here.
Mason Tvert says that he was motivated to become a marijuana advocate after being investigated by police at the university where he was studying.
Simply because law enforcement at my university thought I might be using marijuana, they harassed me and they really made my life difficult. Unfortunately, I ended up not being, made a criminal, but it really opened my eyes to the notion that this is really unjust and it's unfair and it's bad public policy. So my initial, when I first got into this, I was initially interested because I didn't think that it should be a crime and that people should be criminals simply for using a less harmful substance than alcohol.
Opponents say that the new law will leave young people more vulnerable to drug abuse and have detrimental impacts on people's health and the reputation of the state. Mason says it will spark an important new form of economic stimulus here.
This is $1 billion industry. The existing medical marijuana system here in Colorado has already created thousands of jobs, whether it's people who are simply working in these retail medical marijuana centers, or whether they are producing the products, or whether they are transporting products. It's also really giving a lot of business to other peripheral industries, marketing, real estate, construction, contractors that are needed to help these businesses conform to the regulations that they're now faced with. So we're seeing a whole lot of business being created by this new legitimate industry.
Mason Tvert is now himself a sought-after commodity. His political skills on the issue are in high demand from activists, entrepreneurs, and lawyers in other liberal states who want to persuade their voters of the benefits of legalization. This is Mary McCarthy for JN1 in Denver.